Studio here at Fifth and State. We also just went live on Facebook and on YouTube, and we're glad to welcome to our microphone in our studio here downtown, Maria Ferguson. She's the director of the Bruce Gallery on the campus of PennWest University in Edinboro. And thank you so much for joining us, Maria. You've got some big doings going on over there.
We do. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. I'm here because we have an exciting new exhibition coming up. It is the Michael V. Gmitter Scholarship Exhibition. It's a 17th annual exhibition.
Wow.
And this is an exhibition for senior art students at Edinboro. And they have to be juried in to this exhibition by a group of faculty. And then 15 of them who are juried in actually install their own mini installations in the gallery. So they each get their own space, they create new work, and they install it in the gallery. And then we have a juror who comes in who awards money to the winners. So we'll have, it's $4,000 that is awarded in scholarship funds. And last year we had 3 winners. So
did you? Wow. So those are some sizable.
They are.
Some sizable grants. That's really cool. Talk about the different media that are presented in this scholarship gallery.
So there is going to be a little bit of everything. So we have all sorts of students in the exhibition, including film, graphic design, painting, sculpture, ceramics, and printmaking, I believe. We have some as well. So there are really, the students are making all types of work, all different types of work and all different kinds of media. So there's really something for everyone who's interested in any kind of art, and it's really exciting to see what they're working on.
Is there strong linkage to, that heritage of graphic design and animation Edinboro's kind of known for really around the world, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So we do have animators represented pretty much every year. We'll have filmmakers, animators, graphic designers. There's representation from all the different departments. So it's really exciting, especially in a gallery space. You don't get to see that very often. And last year we had one student who was a stop motion animation major, and he actually set up essentially a studio in the gallery so that people could see how puppets are made and used. And then he had a video of stop motion animation as well. So they get really creative. And it's just very exciting to see these talented students and what they're making right now.
All right, tell us about like the journey of maybe of one of these students that participating. Because it fascinates me. You find out if you're good at art when you're a pretty young person, but by the time you get to college, there's always a lot of people kind of pushing you. Well, you got to do this or you got to do that. Can you share a story or what have you, or maybe even your own story, how you go, from maybe something that you're really good at as a 10-year-old to being an art educator like you are now?
That is a great question, and I don't want to pick out any one student because they're all really wonderful. I will say that one of the students actually works for me in the gallery. And so I've been able to work a little bit more closely with her and kind of see her progression as a student. And I'll say that it's incredible to see, first of all, the skill, the talent that these students have is really amazing. And also their professionalism. So she last year had an internship with a gallery working on art education programs, and then the gallery invited her to have a solo show there, which will be coming up this summer.
Wow.
So she'll actually have a solo show at a major gallery in the area as just graduating this spring, so as a recent graduating student. So, it is, and especially at Edinboro, we know the arts program is so strong, and the skill of the professors and their skill in teaching students how to really develop their skills as artists is really incredible to see. And the work that these students are making, and I've been working with artists all over the world for about 15 years in different ways. And I've seen a lot of work, and the work that these students are making is really the best of the best. And so they, as senior art students at Edinboro, are really at the top of the game, and they're really up and coming artists in the art world now. So it's very exciting. And it is, coming in as a freshman, especially as an art major, it can be daunting, and really figuring out what path you want to take and what you want to focus on. So, of course, you have to decide whether you're going to be a painter or a ceramicist or a printmaker or a sculptor or an animator. And you might have some sense of that coming in, because a lot of people just know that they want to be an artist. And learning what you're really passionate about as you're a student and as you're growing over the course of 4 years it's really exciting to watch these students really find those things that drive them.
How important is that middle school art teacher or media teacher, high school teacher? I'm trying, I'm trying to make that parallel to when you, when you're doing Division I basketball. Generally, you're playing AAU, right? You're really having to stretch your skills even beyond school. In art, is there is there a parallel to that? Where you're that 16-year-old and you're submitting stuff maybe to a state competition or something like that.
So I'll tell you my story.
Okay.
Since you asked.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the what I know. So I grew up in Erie, and I went to a parochial school. We didn't have art in school. We didn't have art teachers. But luckily, my mom spent a lot of time taking me to the art museum, and the library, and doing the arts in the arts programs that they had there. So I went to Mercyhurst Prep and was very involved in art there. I took all of the art classes. And who
was your teacher there?
Oh my goodness. So Mrs. Peterson was one of my teachers for ceramics. Who else? Jamie Borowitz.
Jamie Borowitz is what I was thinking. Yeah.
And
he's more of a. He uses natural materials, right?
He does. He's primarily a painter.
Okay,
and he taught me art history, and that's what I got my graduate degree in.
Fantastic.
So I ended up going into that field. So I took absolutely every art class at Mercyhurst, and ended up at Penn State, and I got my degree in photography. And so it was really that, like, the high school is so important as formative years and really learning what you're interested in, and even just the feedback from teachers, and learning about how to see, how to look at art, how to talk about art, all of those things. It was such an important time, especially for me.
Did you end up doing any commercial photography after college?
So a little bit. So between college and grad school, I did work as a photographer and a photo editor for a little while.
Nice.
But so I had also worked at the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And so that kind of set me on my career path, and knowing that I wanted to work more in the museums and galleries area. So I was very lucky that, it was kind of an easy progression for me to just take each next career step and end up where I am, which is absolutely amazing.
We're talking to Maria Ferguson. She's the director of the Bruce Gallery down at PennWest. So the opening of this Memorial Scholarship exhibition is Wednesday the 25th. Talk a bit about that.
It is. Yeah. So Wednesday the 25th from 5 to 7 p.m. Awards will be announced at 6 p.m. All of the student artists will be there, and they will be there to talk about their work. And it's wonderful to hear from the artists individually. It's one of the art department's biggest events of the year. And we have all sorts of people, families, other students, the community all comes out to support these students. And it's just really an incredible night, and it's just so much joy to see the accomplishments that they've created with their installations and their art, and to see them actually get recognition for it. So that will be on, so we're located in the Baron Furness Library on Edinboro's campus, and we will, I know that parking is sometimes a struggle, but we'll have parking signs up so people know where to go. And we also, if you go to our website, brucegallery.info, you can see everything about it as well and all of the events that we have going on. So that is the opening reception, which is always a good time, and you should definitely come out for that. But the work will be on view as of that Monday, the 23rd. So the students install on the 22nd. They all come in the same day, install at the same time for 8 hours, and then we shut the doors and don't let them do anything else. And then on Monday morning, we open it to the public, and then opening reception and the big celebration on Wednesday.
And how long will that exhibit be up, you think?
It'll be up until April 5th.
Okay.
So a couple of weeks. And that's a Sunday. So we are open every single day. So we are open when the library is open. During the week, it's usually from 7 in the morning to 10:30 at night. And on the weekends, it's a little bit shorter, but all of those hours are on our website as well. So you can come out and see us anytime.
If you're a civilian and you're just kind of coming while school's in session, what's your best bet? Like, I mean, is there just regular parking near Barron Foreignness, or
there is? There's regular parking, but also I'll give you a tip that if you come after 4 or on weekends, you can park anywhere.
All right,
So
that's when you won't get a ticket.
You won't get a ticket because it's after hours, and there's regular parking right next to the library and also in a couple of lots really close nearby. And the campus is beautiful, so it's a great place to just take a little walk and see the spring that's starting to come out.
In some of the more recent conversations that we've had about art, there's been a lot of emphasis on public art. And I'm wondering, as you talk to especially your senior level students, talk about how they feel about accessibility and where kind of the state of art is in visual arts are at these days as far as, accessibility and getting them out to the general public wherever, no matter what neighborhood you live in and so on. Yeah.
That I love talking about public art and accessibility, and that's actually something that with all of my students, especially when I'm teaching, it's actually a section that I've included specifically about public art and creative placemaking. And so we talk about public art a lot, especially and when we say that, we think about murals, and I think that doesn't really get to the heart of what's important about it. And so we say creative placemaking because it's really more about community building, about giving people a sense of belonging, and really making places where people want to be and are proud of. And not just about murals, because
it could be
public art
it could be just something small that just makes that little street corner or that I don't know bus bench just more beautiful, right?
Right, exactly. And that is something that I think is so important. The beautification of cities is so important in creating more livable places, like places that artists want to be, places that people want to be. And it's something that if you're not an artist, you might not think about how much impact a mural or even just a pretty street bench has, but it absolutely does.
Do some cities do this better than others? How are we doing here in Erie, do you think, as an Erie girl, you know? I mean...
Absolutely. So some cities, I would say, do more than others. We have a lot of potential in Erie, but I think things are moving in the right direction.
Cool.
So there are some things. So Erie Arts and Culture just had an amazing mural project on the Erie's east side, and they I can't remember how many murals, but I want to say like 12, something like that.
Was that like a couple years ago?
It was a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was a huge full court press kind of thing. Yeah.
And they are so great about really advancing these types of creative placemaking opportunities. But there are things that we could be doing better. I would love to see a Percent for Art program, which some cities...
What is that called again? I'm sorry.
Percent for Art. So we've just learned about that there's a new hotel that's being proposed. Okay. That's something like $360 million build. So Percent for Art means that any new constructions, a certain percent has to go towards art for that space, which for something like that, 1% would be $360,000, something along those lines.
Right,
Imagine the impact of buying local art from artists that would go into that space, and it's impactful in so many ways. So there are little things, and I know that there are a lot of people that have these on their mind, and that I do think we're moving in the right direction, and we'll get a lot of these things in place, hopefully, to really make Erie so much more inviting for artists. And a lot of the artists who, and whether they're in undergrad or graduate, they move away because there aren't as many opportunities for artists here. But I think that there are small changes that we can make to create more opportunities as well.
I would think, as you're trying to recruit freshmen to PennWest, and I would imagine Mercier's would have the same thing in Gannon and Barron, having that kind of spark would be a huge draw for these universities, right? Absolutely,
yeah. Having an area that is really drawing artists, and not just students, but artists from all over. And, Erie is great. It's very livable. There's a lot of potential for artists to be here. And that would be just another draw to get students here as well.
Maria, give another invitation to this new scholarship exhibition here.
So Wednesday, March 25th from 5 to 7 p.m., we'll have our opening reception for the Michael V. Gmitter Scholarship Exhibition.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Maria Ferguson. And you have standing exhibits all year?
Year-round, absolutely.
Even during the summer?
Even during the summer, yes.
So the Bruce Gallery there is a community asset?
Absolutely, yes. We're always open, and check out our website for everything that we have going on. We have exhibitions and programs, artist talks, workshops. So we're always doing a lot for the community. So check us out.
Maria Ferguson, director of the Bruce Gallery on the campus of PennWest University. Appreciate it very, very much. More ahead here. It's 3:51 on Talk Erie.